All right. So before I lay any rafters on my top plates, I need to make sure that both of these walls are running perfectly straight and they're also parallel with each other. So I'm going to string a line from the end. I'm going to keep it 1.5 inches off of the wall so that I can check the middle with another 1.5 inch block and make sure that it's the correct distance. That way I know that the wall is running perfectly straight. So what I did was I tacked a block onto the end of the wall, and I'll also do this on the other end. I ran the chalk line behind it and ran it out this way. So now you can see that this line's running straight down the length of the wall. Sometimes you might have it bow in and bow out, so you'll need to put 2 braces on this wall to correct that. We're trying to get this perfectly straight. The type of brace I'm installing is called a spring brace. What I'll do is I'll nail the top and I'll nail the bottom, and then I'll put a kicker in it, and I'll push up in the center of this 2x4, and it'll put a bow in it. By doing that, it'll pull this wall in. So what I did is I put 1 tack nail on the top here just to hold this from sliding out, and I'll push up on this while I lift on this, and I'll bring it in to where I'm close enough. And I'll put a nail on the end here so the bottom doesn't slide out. I'm not going to put it into the 2x4 just yet. I'm going to tack a block on here. I'm going to have it so it's just below the chalk line. So what I can do is I can just sight up this block from down there and make it good. That's perfect. Once that's perfect, I can nail the bottom of this brace. Good of tagging. So I had to place 2 braces on this wall to make this perfectly straight. This front wall was bowed in just a little bit, so I'm not going to nail the bottom first. I have to push the wall out. Now to do that, all you got to do is push down on the brace. When you push down on it and you nail it, when the board re-straightens, it's going to push that wall out. And then I'll put a kicker underneath and I'll bring it back in so that it is straight. Instead of stringing a line on this wall, I'm just going to sight it and make sure it's running straight. And it's pretty. 8'2". Your money. Typically when you're straightening a wall, you're going to have a problem right where this joint is in the top plates. Now, one thing I forgot to add was when I did my top plates on this wall, since I had a split in the middle of it, I made sure I had a 12-foot piece splicing that together 6 feet. So there was 6 feet going that way and 6 feet coming this way. And then I just filled this in with a scrap piece. And that'll make that top plate one piece, kind of. One thing I didn't go over in my other videos was that before you raise this wall up, you can lay out this top plate. It's just going to be the same thing, 15 and 1/4 set ahead from the end of the wall. And you can do it on both. Before I raised that back wall, I'd already laid it out. The front wall, I forgot to do it. So I need to lay it out. Now, the safe way to do this is to get your first mark, put a nail, send your tape measure out, mark what you can reach, move your ladder, and rinse and repeat. But I'm on a little excitement in my life. I haven't done it in years. Wow, I used to do that for a living. That's fucking insane. I can't even do it now. When I used to frame for a living, I would walk on top of this wall, walk backwards and lay the wall out, no problem. It's been 4 years since I've done it, and I just tried it, and I'll tell you, that shit was scary. No way. My God, my neighbors. Splinter in the ass. Splinter in the ass. Man, I used to just run on these things. Stop with the banging. Fuck that. 12, 13, 14 rafters. Let's go cut 14 rafters. Now that everything is straight, parallel, and square, I can go back and cut all my rafters and start to install them. So I have my pattern ready to mark all my rafters. I installed these blocks on the top of the rafter so that I can just take it and place it on a new 2x6, tip it up like this, and it'll make it flush on both ends so I don't have to walk back and forth, and then I can make my marks. Before I mark any rafters though, I need to make sure that these are all crowned in the correct direction. So I'm going to crown them all so they're facing that way. Once I have all the boards crowned in the same direction, I can take my pattern and place it on there. If I just tilt the rafter up like this, it'll bring it flush on top. I'm going to try to bring it as far up as I possibly can. Since I have a crack in this board, I'm just going to come down so I can cut that crack out. No one likes crack. Well, some people do. Not me though. You want to make sure you got a sharp pencil so you can get right into that corner. It'll be more accurate for you. The reason I'm sliding it up is I'm going to have a scrap piece about 1 foot long, which I'll be able to use in other places. I'm going to install some temporary staging so I can put the rafters on, and it'll also make it easier to do my plywood. I came 3 feet down from the top of the plate there, and I found a stud. If you take your hammer and you hit against the plywood, hollow sound is no stud and a solid sound is going to be a stud. So if you listen, here, right there. Ah, it was my fucking finger. However you cut your rafter, you want to make sure that it's that length is good with your plywood. Oh, that's the problem. There lies the problem. So I'm going to put it on my line. I'm going to put 1 nail in it for now. I'm going to go check the other side and make sure it's good. I'm going to put 2 nails on each side of the rafter. To get your rafter to the other side, if you just place it on top of the rafter you just nailed, slide it up, get it over, and you can slide it over and put it where it's got to go. This 2x6 I'm standing on, I nailed it into those 2x4s that are holding it up, but I don't want to be leaning against it because it could break loose and slide out like that, and if it slides out, guess where you're going? Downtown. I haven't put a disclaimer on any of my videos, but let me tell you, you're responsible for your own safety. If you think this is dangerous, don't do it. I only regret that I have but 1 life to live for my tiny house. You really just got to get comfortable again. It's really not bad. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, be safe when you're doing this step. It is the most dangerous, I think. Once I get some plywood on this roof, it'll be a little bit safer, but that'll be in next video, so make sure you tune in. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe. Also, if you'd like to make a donation to help support my channel, top right corner, you can click on that little eye with the circle on it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Listen, I told you I wanted to be in every video. Do you hear me?
Do you hear me? I'm talking to you. Golly, you just don't care about me anymore. It's all about your damn tiny house. Yeah, no, I'm okay, guys. Trust me. He's taking care of me the best that he can. I mean, he is a little slow, but he's doing the best he can. God, give me some attention, would you? I need some attention.